Hey there fellow crafters, today we're gonna create the shards, 4 separate shards from the mobile game RAID Shadow Legends. It is quite easy to create rounder shapes, but making corners and plain edges, it's not really that comfortable thing clay wants to get into the shape of. And the most obvious thing you will kind of think of to use is the sharp tool in order to cut the corners and make these plain sides. I have done the same thing using this kind of a kidney tool in order to create this angular shape, otherwise with on this egg shaped clay piece. So in order to replicate the corners and plain sides, we are done, but now we need some kind of shininess. In order to replicate that glassy look of the crystal, you can go with different routes. I have chosen the duct tape route, which is quite time consuming and difficult to pull off. You will have to create these small pieces of duct tape and place them onto these simple planes. Then using some kind of scalpel or sharp knife in order to cut the corners of the excess duct tape as precise as possible. Once you're done with concealing everything, you have one completed side left, and you have to go with 20 or more of those various sized edges and sides. So now it's time to add the metal parts once the crystals are ready. The metal parts are quite a bit more challenging to do at this scale, especially because they have this prominent helmet shape, this strange construction around the crystal, and at the same time this very narrow and tiny wings around them, which can be quite difficult to create and at the same time maintain its shape and don't damage it whilst applying it onto the crystal or handling it later on. So make sure initially that you have this capacity of creating onto the scale you plan to do in ahead, and then start creating the project itself. So once you're done with all those details and pieces for this metal surroundings for the crystal, you can attach them consequently. And at this final stage, I was kind of not really sure about this yellow clay piece. It was not shiny enough and convincing enough as it was a gold, so I have decided to dug up my golden paint, the one and only piece, and using the simple brush to go over these yellow pieces and paint this guy with golden paint. So after the painting, our shards are done. I'm quite happy with this result. Unfortunately, the game is not my sponsor, but I really enjoy it and have decided to include parts of it in my collection of videos. At the end, the second reason of my dedication to this project is you quite often encounter these shards, crystals, or some kind of MacGuffins in fantasy games, video games, or movies, and this technique can help you in order to replicate them from other universes. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I enjoyed creating it. If the video is more or less successful and you're interested in RAID Shadow Legends itself, you can vote up there and decide which champion should I create next. Have a nice day and see you next time. Goodbye.